candidate quit the race. Since June, Lance has crisscrossed the district, meeting with a variety of groups and individuals and participating in events and activities in all 5 counties. Lance has been appointed by the 8th District Committee to be our candidate, and on Friday, August 27th at 3 o'clock, the Secretary of State Office of Elections notified the Michigan Democratic Party that Kande Galamulame will not be on the November ballot. So on Monday, the MDP will notify the SOS that Mike Rogers is SOL. If you Google the words Tom DeLay, Mike Rogers, and K Street, you should find a Washington Post article from May of 2005 about the K Street project, describing how Mike Rogers was a deputy whip whose job it was to work with the lobbyists to help get the votes necessary to pass their Republican agenda. And what did the Washington Post say about what Mike Rogers and the Republicans got from the lobbyists? Lots of money from special interests represented by K Street. Tom DeLay is now gone and facing money laundering charges in Texas. Jack Abramoff was convicted and went to jail. Mike Rogers learned how to work K Street and keep the money coming, and it's still coming to Mike Rogers. Lance is our chance to stop the Mike Rogers money train. And now, here is our candidate for Congress, Lance Enderle.
CD! Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo!
Wow. First of all, I'd like to say I'm humbly honored and privileged to stand before you today as the 8th Congressional District candidate for Congress. This has been a long, hard ride for all of us. Things we've gone through, we've never had to experience before in the political process. But you know what? It tells the rest of the state, we're not dead in the 8th District. What it also says is, number one, can't is not in our vocabulary. We are Democrats. Don't tell us we can't do anything, because we will do it. I proved it. I ran as a write-in when I told I couldn't do it. And I garnished almost 10% of the vote. That's a pretty good step for somebody that didn't have a lot of money and is doing it for the basic principles of what's right is right and what's fair is fair. That's a message we can carry on. Why? Because again, we aren't dead in the 8th District. Everybody in this state and in this country has given up on the 8th District but us. And I stand before you today, and I tell you, come November 3rd, she isn't here right now, but I know a lot of you know Dorothy Stevens. Yeah. Dorothy Stevens has a commitment. That's the only promise I've made, besides the fact I will not take PAC or special interest money, and I'll get to that one in a second, as Bill alluded to. But I gave Dorothy Stevens a promise that on November 3rd, she gets to call Mike Rogers and let him know he's fired. Now, a little bit about me. I'm a single parent, I'm an educator, and I'm a grandparent. My history dates back in Michigan about 6 generations. My great-great-great-grandfather was a Jesuit priest on Mackinac Island. He married a Native woman in the late 1700s, so I could be your only Native American candidate at the ballot as well. Again, I'm humbly honored and privileged right now, and I'm almost at a loss for words, but some of you will go, really? Lance is at a loss for words? But it is. It's a task that we have at hand right now. As Phil alluded to, and a few other people, we've got a guy in Congress right now that really doesn't care about us, our needs, or the rest of the people of this country. That's obvious by the way he's passed legislation over the last 10 years. He's used his K Street connections to erode at our political system. And I believe everybody in this room will agree with me that money has tainted our political process and has taken away our voice from being spoken in Washington. Am I wrong, or am I right? That is the reason I'm not taking PAC money. Mr. Rogers is so dirty with the money he has from K Street corporations that I have to be able to stand up for it. The only way it stops, the only way that we get things to change in Washington is when we send people there with the conviction, the integrity, and the fortitude to stand up for what's wrong and deliver what is right. That is where I stand for you today. I make this commitment to you. I will not quit you. I didn't get in this race to quit, and obviously I got in under some extreme circumstances. But it's my belief in democracy, and more importantly, it's the belief in the 400,000 plus people that aren't here with us today that live within the 8th District that need representation in Washington. There are 3 simple factors that I'll focus on. One is economics. The corporate system's eroded this country. When we give corporation and banks more say than we do the small businesses in the working class of this country, something's wrong with that. Education, of course, that'd be a factor for me. I'm a teacher. But I see the importance of it, because if we don't take care of our future generations and give them the skills necessary to move forward and develop industry and technology to help us move forward into the future centuries, we're losing a step. We need education as that key factor, and the third one's environment. And I can tell you right now, Mr. Rogers is the worst friend of the environment we have. Just take a look at Kalamazoo. That's an unconscionable move. That happened in 2005. Thank you, Dick Cheney, George Bush, and Mike Rogers. They yanked out legislation that allowed the mining and gas companies to basically have carte blanche and skirt the Clean Water Act. Obviously, that was a clean water issue in Kalamazoo. Next time, I want people to think, when you see those Halliburton trucks driving on the road, because they're driving on the road in this state right now, and they're committing a crime called hydrofracturing. Hydrofracturing is it's a process that's used to extract natural gas from the earth. In turn, what it does is it poisons our groundwater system. Michigan is the largest supply of fresh water in the world. We got to stop Mike Rogers and Republican cronies from destroying the most valuable natural resource that Michigan has to offer the world. What I'll do is we're going to get this convention going here. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. You guys realize that I'm a fighter. I'm not your sacrificial lamb. I'm going to take it to Mr. Rogers in November. I already wanted to debate him 5 times publicly. I've already called for it. 5 counties, 5 town hall debates. You know he's not going to do it. Why? Because he can't debate and he doesn't know the issues. But you know what? We're going to make the public aware of that. And in November, the good Lord willing, and the river don't rise, you're going to have new congressmen in the 8th District.